Good Vibes Only Podcast.
Check it now at the podcast, man. Good vibes on. Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't.
So, does your personality or your appearance matches your job? Like, for instance, like you go somewhere and they be like, or someone asks you, "What do you do?" And you tell them, do they have like a look of astonishment or surprise, or they be like, "Oh, you know what? I can see you doing that."
Definitely not me.
You live to go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak.
Then you want me to talk on this one first. So again, guys, do I even look like an electrician? You know,
what does an electrician look like?
What does an electrician look like? Yep. So for me, a lot of times I pull up, and I'm not pulling no race card or anything, but a lot of times they'll pull up, they go to someone else. Again, I'm like, there's just another guy just like myself with the same skin color that's actually working in the company right now. But before, they'll pull up and ask the other guys who are in charge. And remember, I'm the one running this job. So again, does my personality or appearance matches my job? My personality matches my job, yes, because I'm educated to give you educated answers for your questions that they ask. But
about not only just electrical stuff, but
about in their home and all that. But
yeah,
when it comes on to my
appearance,
again, I dress where I'm comfortable.
Which is still, though, sorry to cut you, but which is still like on the nicer end, because it'd be like, you wear button down, you wear that to work,
right? So
wear cologne, good cologne,
good cologne.
Yeah,
them smell my personality. Everybody know me. I love that. What about you? I mean, you definitely have to match yours, because it's not like you can't wear what you have no at work.
Oh no, that's a whole different persona at work. I don't know. I think that my aura, or how I am naturally, matches that. Yeah. I love working with kids and their family and stuff. Maybe people around me that knows me personally can say that, but I don't know what a stranger think if they be like, okay, I can see. So y'all tell me, do I look like I do the type of work that I do? I don't know.
And what's your work again?
Social work. I do social work. So if you need any other information about how long, what subjects you need to take, hit me up. I can give y'all I can drop some dimes.
Got you. I think the next question is yours.
Does your parents agree with your career choice? Did they always agree?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
And let me say, I don't think they had a choice.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't think they had a choice to agree or disagree.
Yeah. Again, they're going to watch this and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's because I turned out to something good according to them. But yeah. But I would still do this because I know it's not something bad. I'll definitely do this again over and over. And I wish my kids do this. I can only wish. But you never know. I got my big son, all he's into is YouTube. So probably be a producer or something.
As I mentioned before, they weren't happy, but they are happy now.
Right.
Because I think I found myself and what I love doing.
Right.
And then I'm making a living from that. And who cannot be proud of that, Right. And even if they weren't, I'm standing in my truth because, I'm grown.
Right.
So.
So, and the next question I'm about to ask again, too. A lot of people, when you're in that first primary section of your education, you probably be like, oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be this. But then you ended up working at McDonald's. Then you ended up doing electrical.
Which nothing is wrong with being at McDonald's.
And they might end up owning their own business, but not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. So, yeah, it's the same thing. Like you saw that in yourself. I don't even know what I wanted when I was in 6th grade. Because at one point I was just with my dad working. So all I was seeing was just
I knew what I
stuff.
wanted. Pediatrician, which I mentioned before.
Okay.
But you know what? It just popped into my head as we were discussing this. I really feel like you should have the choice to make changes.
Right.
and not be so tied down to one. I'm not saying that you should aimlessly move from a job every month. You should kind of like target your direction a little better. But I feel like you can have more than one careers in a lifetime.
Most definitely, yes.
So, I just don't like when people feel trapped and feel like they have no way out and they have to just select that one thing and they hate it.
Yeah, but that's a different line between a career and a job, though.
That's true.
Because a career, you're supposed to think through. Like, you're gonna do a lot of jobs in your life. You're gonna skip jobs. You're gonna do.
Because I did.
But a career,
which we're gonna go into that now. Like,
yeah.
Before you get to that career, you have to do some odd jobs or jobs that you never thought you would do. And you know what my job was? I was a security guard. Do I look like I was a security guard? Yes, I was.
Bullseye. You hit it.
I was a security guard in undergrad because I had to make that money. College books were not cheap.
Right.
Living on campus was not cheap. So I had to do what I had to do. And I took it for what it was. You showed up to work on time. My uniform is ever like clean and pressed and have a pleasant face, even though people were just that. You have to have good customer care skill, and you seen so much, and people treat you so differently because you were the security guard. And I've experienced things like that. They look down on you, not knowing like where you can end up.
Right.
And like if you'll see them again in the future. But yeah, I was a security guard, and I'm not ashamed of that journey because I did it to get to where I was, but where I am today.
Yeah. For me, I always try to. A lot of young people reach out to me, especially from Jamaica. In America, I try to help the fews, but not much young bulls here that I can talk to because they're just on some next thing. A lot of them come, I train them. I do a lot of training in my company. Almost every new
impart wisdom on somebody. Yeah, I think we both do.
Yeah,
like not intentionally. Sometimes, like I don't want to lecture people. Yeah, and just encourage them. Sometimes people need an extra boost and an encouragement to realize their potential. Because if somebody never encourage us,
right?
Yeah, if we didn't have that support or that and the belief within ourselves, there's no way.
Old soul, right? That's what you call me, an old soul.
Oh yeah, old soul. I think we're both old soul. We're weird, but you see that.
I'm not a weirdo. but so yeah, I have this one cousin and graduated from high school, and he's been like, yo, I don't know what's the next step. I really need a job. And I always tell people, hey, you can't look down on the job. It's one thing my mom tell me all the time. My mom tell me is you show up, right? You do your job, you wash your hands, and you collect your money and go home. Go take care of your family. Go do all of that stuff with your money. Don't listen to what people say with what kind of job you're doing.
And also, if you put in garbage, you're going to get garbage. So we're saying this to say that, yes, you should think about it and prepare yourself, but also put in the effort. It doesn't make any sense if you're not putting in no effort.
Yet, if you really want to make
you can't expect all of these grand things when you're not do the extra work. You have to do the extra work.
Gotcha. Yeah, so he reached out to me and I was like, hey, I know you might want to start with a job and your parents might disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? But for me,
let them know it's a stepping stone. Let them know it's
a stepping stone. And the thing too is like what I notice is that you'll be home. And a lot of people that's out there that's looking job, let me tell you this. You'll be home and you're probably looking for a job at a call center. You're probably looking for a job at, I don't know, probably a manager at KFC or something. But let me tell you this. If you probably apply for the cleaning part of that building, and you can disagree all you want, but listen, it works. You can start clean that building. And then boom, one day you meet the manager and you'll be like, hey, I was applying for this. These are my credentials. The only way you're going to meet that manager is if probably you were there cleaning. Right?
Or meet a customer that could help you go. Yeah.
So a thing is called networking, right? So you have to be out there first before you can network. Like you cannot network from home. You cannot be applying for jobs at home and it's going to work.
But the pandemic shift that, but yeah,
it shifted, for sure. So
networking is one of the best things. I've got internships jobs
Right.
and stuff from networking. Sometimes they say that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, you know.
So, yeah.
So my advice to you is that if you really, really need a job, is you need to take a job, right?
So you can get the job that you want. Survive like food and get the equipments. And in this day and age, people are taking YouTube, marketing on IG
digital
and
marketing.
and making a living, whatever you do. You're gonna need a job to sustain you, so you can do all of that stuff. Where you bring in, do you get to a point where you're bringing the money? You're bringing the big money where you don't have to do that job that you didn't like from previous before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember we could probably hit DJ Fog up. I remember talking to him on the last episode, and he was like, "Hey, 10 years ago when we were in school, there wasn't that much career that we could choose from. We were speaking in our Jamaican
native tongue,
the native tongue. The last time we were on the podcast, but what he was basically saying was like 10 years ago, there wasn't much career that someone could choose from, but like with today's world, there's like a snap of like 1,000 or maybe hundreds
there's
of
so much
different
new
ones,
jobs. And you know what? I wish I knew about social work from early on out.
Right.
And I've worked at a summer camp before, and they took the kids to construction site. They took them to a technical school. They took them around. They took them to an engineer's office, and I appreciated that because it opened them up to more than just a doctor, a lawyer, or anything like that. So widen their horizon. And if you know people in your family, ask them questions. Use the people around you to start asking these questions and help you figure out what you want to do. Now that I'm a social worker, you're an electrician, if somebody's interested in that in our family, they definitely know, well, I hope they know, that they use us for the resources and the help that we have to give them.
Yeah. A lot of things. I want to talk to these young guys. I want to emphasize on the young adults that's coming up right now. I notice, and these are just the ones that I know. I know a lot that works and they're doing good. And you know what? Let me give them props. Let me big up the one that's actually going out working and doing good, because a lot of times people only focus on the bad. Like in a government system, they only have a system for the bad kids. They don't have a system for the good kids.
Yeah, they don't. Which I feel like, schools in Jamaica, I think they need counselors. Because I had a counselor at one point, I think. But they need stuff to, help students with the trauma and
the
stuff.
Good one, too. They only have help for the bad one, which is like jailhouse or prison by the end of the day.
Or what they call a family school or whatever.
They don't have nothing for the good kids.
And you know what? It's crazy. Sometimes it takes just one person to make a difference in a person's life.
Yeah.
Like, I know people might think it's such a trivial thing to say that, be like, if I can just help one person, it will make a difference.
Right.
So imagine having a counselor or a social worker at these schools, and while the kids are going through the trauma, to help them process it so they know how to cope with it and not cope in a negative way. It just takes one person to tune into a child and change their trajectory. No doubt.
So my advice, a lot of them, the problem we're having, and again, I'm talking from experience in my company, a lot of problems I have with the small generation, the younger generation, is that they don't want to work. So they come in, they apply for a job, and then
it's choice. They had more choice than we have, and I'm not like, it could be tricky, because then it could mean that you're very indecisive because you have a lot of choices. So it's just like, what do we do? Like, okay, you have more choices than the generation before.
Yeah.
How are we going to take this and then help shape us for the better?
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to give them an advice. To be honest, I want to give them an advice. I want them to let them know, listen, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get no reward. What's the old saying? You reap what you sow.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. So if you're doing garbage stuff,
Yeah.
you're gonna get garbage results.
You're upping from jobs to job. How are you gonna land in a career?
Or like, how are you gonna show jobs that you're a worker that they should bet on if you're hop, skipping, and jumping from so many jobs?
Right.
And you had think about, like, yes, you want to be your own boss, but there's steps to this.
There's
You can't rush the process at all.
So
I think I'm gonna call
DJ Fargo. So while she's setting up the call, let's see what's going on with them.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear us? Huh?
Yeah, time.
What was that?
No time.
You just landed?
Yeah, just stop, bro.
No way. All right. Again, guys, this is DJ Fargo.
For all your production needs too, he got y'all. Hit him up on Instagram. So we're talk
_vibes. We'll definitely leave your link in the description, or
for
we'll
sure.
pop it up on you right here. So
No problem, bro.
get at me. All right. So we trying to I know we talked her native the last time, so we're just trying to help out our American listeners here and our world listeners also.
Yeah.
Hoping that it does travel.
No problem.
How you doing?
I got you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Great.
So we're talking about careers today. We're taking a deeper dive into careers. We touched on it the last time when we were talking about, like, what careers and stuff. So what's career are you doing now?
Let me put my swimsuit on and I get my ear jump so we can take a deep dive.
Be careful how deep you're going, brother. Keep your head above water.
What was the question again?
What's your career? Title of your career?
Title of career is a truck driver at the moment. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I'm a trucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment.
Is it that you always wanted to do?
No, not trucking. Just see it like you try it. It's pretty nice at the moment.
Okay, circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So do you love or hate your career? Or would you, before we get to that, do you consider the title that you have now, do you think it's a job or it's a career?
For me right now, I think it's just a lifestyle for me right now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not a job or a career. It's a lifestyle for me right now.
Okay.
I hope
Makes
people
sense.
people
Makes
listen.
sense.
It's not a job, it's a career.
And that's why we called you too, because we wanted like a different look at these things. So would you say that you love or hate it?
I like it.
Okay. In between.
Again, so I think that lifestyle kind of split it in between a job or a career.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose this?
Yeah.
Why did you choose this lifestyle?
At the moment.
It is the closest lifestyle I could do without clocking in and clocking out. So it's like I could work without no one in my, not be me say, yo, you gotta like do this, do that. That now like someone micromanaging me, like
I don't think any of us like to be micromanaged.
No one like that. So for the younger listeners right now, I know you said it was a lifestyle and it wasn't a job or a career, and then you said no one micromanaging you. So would and again, would I ask you, is this your own job? Is this like are you your own boss, or are you working for someone?
At the moment, I'm working for someone right now, but the aim is to work for myself.
Work for yourself. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's everyone aim.
Yeah.
So what I want most of the listeners to know is that there's so much jobs out there. We're just
so much lifestyle changes.
As much as possible, because now you're in a lifestyle, as according to you, you're in a lifestyle right now, and you can do. And you can do what you want, basically.
Yeah, and give a different perspective.
Yeah, you can work at your time and get the job completed when they want at the same pace without being
Micromanage.
and
Micromanage.
yeah,
Yeah.
and still feel good and love the job that you're doing. So what I think most of the problem is with most kids is that they don't have the resource to most of these information.
Yeah.
Because again, when they're in school, when we were in school, no one told you, "Oh, do you want to be a trucker?" That wasn't
Or
on the
that
line
wasn't an
for someone.
option.
You
Yeah.
know, if
No,
if
it's
you
like
want
a generation. It's like a generation thing.
right? If
That's the old
someone
school.
said, "Hey, what if you want to wash the truck?" You know, you can, instead of teaching you stuff like, "Hey, you can open a car wash." And
Oh
to do
yeah.
that, you need to
And
learn a
that's a
little bit of
business.
business, you know. So they'll send you in business how to open a business, and then tell you, "Hey, you got to learn how to wash the truck by yourself because we won't teach you."
Yeah.
None of this was given to us in school to say, "Hey, you could take this route to where you want to go." They basically give you
Yeah.
what they think you should have, and basically leave us out there in the wilderness, you know.
Basically, they keep having that mindset from ages ago that
Oh
they
yeah.
always
Yeah,
keep on teaching
the
kids
same thing.
what they learned. The same thing, like
Yeah,
it's new age, like everything is new right now. You gotta like change up your or adjust to what's going on right
Yeah,
now.
your mindset.
most
So I have a
definitely.
question. So what's your ultimate dream job?
Dream job
Yeah.
for to be honest, not to work for anyone. To be honest, that's my ultimate dream job. But I don't have a dream job right now.
Oh,
Like
you haven't narrowed, but you definitely know you don't want to work with someone.
You
So
want to be
that's a
self-employed.
start.
yeah,
Hey,
right.
self-employed,
Yeah, right.
doing what you love.
Yeah,
Okay, I dig that.
Good, good.
yeah. Like that's in free right now. Like yeah, that's the goal right now. Not
So
working for someone right now.
when you were in primary school, right?
Yeah.
What did you want to be in primary school?
My thing was in primary school. I always tell them I want to be like a filmmaker. I always do a filmmaker from primary school coming up, like a
Okay, which
photographer,
you
a
kind of do
filmmaker.
a little bit of that now too.
Right.
Yeah, growing up, seeing my dad doing that. My dad does take pictures, video, funeral, weddings. So I always see that. I always took a liking to it. I never like drive myself into doing it, but I always want to do it.
You want to take it to that next threshold, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like I never had the motivation or like the mentor on me. That's it.
Yeah, the support.
I never actually jump into doing it. I always have to do that job that I got getting paid, and they said doing that is not guaranteed of getting paid unless you're around people that already in the business
Yeah.
to get that money or get paid. So that was the main reason why I didn't like venture into it because these bills gotta get paid right now.
Right.
Got
You
you.
gotta live. You know, you
You
gotta
gotta
pay
look.
your bill, and
Right.
that's honest. Like that's real. That's real, real.
Yeah, because life before 18 or 17 was pretty awesome, but after
Oh
18,
yeah.
I mean,
No care in the world. We're
uh,
not paying any
yeah,
bills.
This was
yeah. So
definitely.
that's the main reason right now.
I got a question for you, my brother. Do your parents
Yeah.
agree with your career choice, with your lifestyle, with your lifestyle?
Yeah, we're gonna use that instead of career.
Again, Jamaican parents,
Oh
Jamaican
yeah.
mindset. Once to 18, whatever you choose, once you're paying those bills or whatever you choose, they don't really care about it.
Yep.
To be honest, because as long as, my parents, they don't like on you to be like a lawyer, doctor, or something like that, or a nurse or something like that. Whatever you do, what they want to do it safely, or whatever you're making money, just do you. That's the
I,
golden rule.
right. So
Right.
they just want you to be able to fend for yourself, like be independent
Stand
Yeah,
up on your
and
foot.
can survive. Which that's a different perspective than I was used to. They had like a predestined plan for me since I was like out the womb. So yeah, that's kind of refreshing and different to hear that your parents say whatever you
yeah.
choose.
Yeah, because as I said, you just gotta do you. If you don't like it, try something. Like keep on trying until you like something. That's the thing
Which we just
with
talked
my
about
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
the generation of like having more choices in terms of how
Yeah.
the direction the world are going to go into. You could
Yeah.
have so many choices in terms of careers that you never thought of 20 years ago.
Hey, right now people is
Oh
what you've
yeah.
been doing for 20 years and switch over to doing something different right now. So
Yeah.
You can
it's
have
all
many
about
careers in a
lifestyle because
Yeah,
lifetime.
it can get tiring after a time. It's
Yeah.
definitely don't have to
yeah,
bring it to your grave.
but 20 years ago or 30 years ago, the goal was to get out of school, get into a job, do 20 years, 40 years at a job,
And
retire. But
retire.
people ain't doing that shit right now. That is like really very old school. People is like doing something that really lifestyle to be honest. Like a lot of people doing lifestyle choices right now.
Oh
Like
Right.
yeah.
living lifestyle while working.
Got you.
And yeah, people ain't staying to one place too long right now. Especially young
Mm-mm.
Because
minds right now.
there's so much choices right now, so people can actually be,
Pick, choose, and refuse.
yeah, they could do a lot. And
You just gotta get a
Yeah.
start. Like you gotta do something before something do you. Like start with
You
something,
know
and
whereas
if yeah,
whereas the like for instance like say the Jamaican Irish coffee, like she started doing music, she doing something that she like and end up she got big in doing it and it's
got the
like she's
break.
doing it right now and it feels like it's not like work to her right now. That's what she loves. She's doing what she loves. So some people got that right out the bat, but some people gotta take years to
Oh yeah, it
get them
takes
there. Like
time to find
right,
yourself. Yeah.
would you
like
would
Morgan
you
Freeman.
would you
Same thing
would
with
you
Morgan
give
Freeman.
would you give an advice for these young rappers? Like, are they do they really do you think they really are rappers, or you think it's not the right career? Like, what you think about that? Because just like you said, you gotta feel, you gotta know that's what you want, and a
And know
lot of them.
yourself through and through.
So I know you listen to a lot of rap songs. So tell me something like in that. What's your
Maybe they
advice?
like the lifestyle. Maybe they like the lifestyle and they start to
Oh
try
yeah.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Cause are you
Keep them
putting in the
behind, and
work?
it's like they keep doing it, and maybe that's what they want to do. But to be honest, if it's not for you, I think you should leave it alone though.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, if it's not for you, you should leave it alone. But don't do it because of money, just because they love it. That's the
Oh
only thing I
yeah.
can say
Yeah,
right
they
now.
gotta make
I
sure they
agree.
love that one. Yeah, for real, for real.
And you know
Yeah,
what?
if you don't love it,
Yeah.
no sense.
Because there's this designer, I think it was Vera Wang, one of these American designers. She didn't sell her first dress until she was like 40 or somewhere above there.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think that career should start at 18 when you're still trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in the world. So I definitely
Hey,
agree with you, Fago.
you could Google Morgan Freeman and look what when he started acting.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
use that as an example
Um,
right now. So it's like
a lot of
me my
people.
age right now, you can't cuss if I can't find what I want to do. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's not
You
my
don't have
time.
to
I think
put a
it's not my
time
time yet.
limit. I know we didn't talk about time limit, but you
Yeah.
don't have, and don't match yourself with somebody else's timeline. If that's one of the
Yeah, you
things
know what I'm
that you
saying?
take
Yeah,
away, you take away.
yeah, like
Don't measure yourself against
yeah,
somebody else.
yep. People trying to live based on people right now. You try to do your own thing.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
social media though.
Oh yeah, the age of the media.
That's social media, and it's going down
Goes to think that
depression. Right.
yeah, it goes to think that people don't have their own mind. Like they live in because how people live. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. So I always, for the age that I am, before like, me and you talk, and be like, you know what, I don't like. You people like, oh, you this age, you should already have this. You should have this, and this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have to have all of those things right now. I have to do what's important to me.
Right.
So
Right. You gotta
I'm
feel
not gonna
comfortable
follow
doing it.
somebody else's timeline, and then that's not authentic to me because that's not me. That's not my journey. So you have to figure out your own path, create your own timeline.
Right. I did create a timeline that I did not meet from my career
And how
when I
did you
was
feel
young.
about that?
I must say I do not feel disappointed.
Yeah, because you have some accomplishments.
Yeah, I look at the accomplishment. I look what I started towards it, and I don't feel disappointed. So
Me either.
that's
I had
something
a
that I really
timeline.
want to let people know is like you just this thing with breaking down yourself with emotions and all that stuff. You're deteriorating yourself, my brothers, my sisters. you got to be strong, and you got to be strong for yourself because there's no one
Or
else there.
make the changes that you need.
Yeah.
I said that I was gonna, be a pediatrician and have my own office. I do share office right now, but I have had my own office.
Right.
That people know, oh, this is where, my office is or whatever. I did say I wanted to graduate, and have my master's and my undergrad degree, and I have done that. But it's just that my timeline was not like the timeline that I created when I was younger. You're evolving and things change. Things happen. For instance, the pandemic, shifted things for people a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That takes a whole toll. I hear the pandemic, and I was just like, whew.
Brings you back.
Brings you back. Yeah, back where we were in 2020.
To be honest, luckily I made the lifestyle change before the pandemic. So
Oh.
I wouldn't know what I would be doing right now.
Right. So it worked out for you.
Yeah, 'cause I worked right through the pandemic, so it wasn't.
That's a
like,
blessing
Yeah.
you were able to, still pay your bills. That was a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about it. So come on, we still gotta deliver these food.
Yeah, things gotta essential worker. You are an essential worker.
Essential worker for sure.
Yeah.
I remember when we were home, you were still working.
And you know what? That time, and it's grateful to be in a position where after the pandemic ended, you still had a job.
Right.
Some people don't have a job now. Some people are getting evicted, so you gotta count your blessings, okay? And think wisely about your career, because I feel like the pandemic showed you careers that could falter at an epidemic like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
So you gotta re-center with
choosing wisely right now.
Oh yeah.
You have any advice for the young kids? I wanna steer and aim at the young ones right now. I wanna help them.
What would you tell your younger self? That's like a good question that I feel like would extend to everyone.
In terms of career.
Career. To be honest, career-wise, telling my younger self, just tell them to focus on what you really love.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing that could give you happiness. Like the money, just focus on what you love.
The money will come.
Focus on doing it. The money will come, and before you start like going on your own, try to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And perfect your craft. Once you do that, I think everything will look good. But if you're trying to be out here, say you're gonna do it and not doing it, that makes no sense. That's like defeating purpose. If you're gonna do it, just do it and look at the result. If it's good, you work with it. If it's bad, you do it again. Come back until it's perfect. You're pretty work. So
perfection.
So
Yeah.
Do what just do what you gotta do to survive. To be honest, right now.
Okay.
Gotcha,
That's a solid, advice to your younger self.
To be honest, going to school, just make sure you want to go to school.
Oh yeah, school is not for everyone.
Force you to go to school.
Yeah, school is not for everyone. And even as much as though I enjoyed my college experience, I know school is not for everyone.
Yep.
And we have to.
Zuckerberg, to drop out. So.
Yeah.
Any personal experience?
Hey, that's
DJ. Any personal experience?
He did say it. He did say it. And there's no shame to the game.
If you're going to school for something that you want to do. Don't go to school because you're trying to impress.
Or your parents. Yeah. I agree. 100%.
Because that's to be honest, that's your life. If
yeah.
You gotta do what you're gonna do, and I see it for my own. Like if you wanna do something, don't do it because it's money, your parents, they're trying to do something better.
Right.
If you come to play, just try to do something for your kid and try to just work with it. But if you're single and doesn't have any kid, just try to do what pleases you or what makes you happy.
Oh yeah.
That's what matters right now.
That happiness. For real.
Oh your mental health. Your sanity is so important.
Mental health is serious,
Yeah, for real.
That's for true. All right, my brother. It was nice having you. Yeah, I know you're gonna be on possibly
many
all
more
the shows, so you're definitely a part of the family and everything. So.
Yeah. I soon be back in the house. So
Soon be
currently,
back in house.
on the road right now. I'm currently fully booked.
Fully booked. Delivering and saving America.
Yeah, essential worker. Big up yourself.
God help America.
All right, no problem, man.
All right.
My brother, take it easy.
Outside.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
That was DJ Fargo.
I really love the conversation.
Right.
Like, we got into it, and I hope you guys, find something to take away, at least one thing, or have a few questions like turning in your mind. And even if you're in a career now, like, and you want to change later, as we said, start asking yourself these questions. Don't judge yourself by somebody else's timeline. You gotta create that stuff for yourself.
Right. And let me tell you, an organization can make you feel you hate your career.
Oh yeah, make and break you.
And we did talk about that, the atmosphere of the organization. So you gotta know, is it the organization? Is it your career?
Right.
Because
ask
the organization. Ask yourself this question, because
when you're interviewing too.
Yeah.
Like, what can you tell me? What kind? Even though they may lie to you,
they always lie.
Yeah, they always lie.
Everyone.
But you could ask, and then that could be a reason for you to leave. To be like, in my interview, I was told this.
Yeah.
And it's not this. So here's my resignation letter.
Yeah, every boss is gonna be like, I'm a good person.
Oh yeah, right. Till you meet them and you screw up one thing.
You know one thing. If you're quitting a career, they'd be like, I need 2 weeks.
But they don't give you 2 weeks before you're gonna fire you. Like, call me up and be like, you know what, I'm gonna fire you, stack your bread.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
They gonna light you. They gonna be like, get out. They gonna walk.
But you want me to give you 2 weeks, and within those 2 weeks, right, they give you all this stuff to do. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. Deuces.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Because they always be like, I know we're about to close, but my thing is like, They want you to give them 2 weeks, but then they gonna fire you.
It's common courtesy, but you don't offer me common courtesy when you're about to fire me. So I feel like I should not be obligated to give you 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe I can obligate to give you
2 hours. 2 hours. Let me get my stuff. What I got for you?
You know, because when they fire you, you have to gather your stuff and leave immediately. And sometimes they have security escort you. So why do I have to, do that? And another thing I want to say, don't let your jobs overwork you and feel like you're putting in the extra work to receive some reward. But that reward would be more work in a disorganized organization. You do have some progressive organization that, reward you with good things. But most time you go be above and beyond and you just get rewarded with more work. And they're not considerate of the time and effort that you put in to go above and beyond. To be like, you know what? You work so hard these 3 days or 4 days out of the week. Have Friday off.
My boy Junior, I forgot the word he used. Demoralizing.
Oh yeah, some of these
demoralizing. So
some of these organizations can make you feel like you hate your career, but I promise you, if you change and you be aware of certain things, so then you go to a next company or you start your own. But if you do go to a next company, ask these questions, be like, previously I was used to this.
Right.
If this is an organization that does this, I can't work here.
It's tough because it will come off of you being cocky when you need
it's being aware, and we might do a segment on interviews and stuff, because you need to ask them questions, because then it shows you, one, you do your homework, and two, you know what you're about.
Okay.
So if they want to take that as cocky, but that's you taking into consideration your sanity and your mental health and just where you want to work. You have a choice. You don't have to accept, that position. So
got you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for making it to the end of our podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got your information, and I hope we helped someone today.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Good day.
You're the best.
Good Vibes Only Podcast.